was the deadliest conflict in human history. More than 50 million soldiers and civilians died during the fighting, including 300,000 U.S. soldiers. The Holocaust alone claimed the lives of 11 million. With the guns of aggression silenced, it was time to begin the long, slow task of rebuilding countries savaged by the fighting. In February 1945, 3 months before the defeat of Germany, Allied leaders met at Yalta in the Soviet Union to discuss Europe's reorganization. Other post-war plans were laid at the conference in Potsdam, Germany 5 months later. While touring the ruins of Berlin, President Truman expressed hope for a more peaceful time ahead.
We're here today to raise the flag of victory over the capital of our greatest adversary. In doing that, we must remember that in raising that flag, we are raising it in the name of the people of the United States who are looking forward to a better world, a peaceful world, a world in which all the people will have an opportunity to enjoy the good things of life and not just a few at the top.
Post-war Germany was divided into 4 zones, individually administered by the U.S., Great Britain, France, and the Soviet Union. However, distrust between the Soviets and the Western Allies escalated, ushering in a 50-year-long period of icy relations that would come to be called the Cold War. In 1946, an international tribunal tried Nazi leaders in Nuremberg, Germany. The first time in history, a nation's leaders were held accountable for war crimes. Japanese military leaders were put on trial as well, including General Tojo, who was convicted and executed for his crimes.
Tribunal finds Tojo guilty under count 54.
The closing months of the war also saw the birth of the United Nations, an international peacekeeping organization to succeed the League of Nations. After the war, Japan was occupied by U.S. forces, commanded by General MacArthur. He introduced economic reforms to the country, leading Japan's markets to become among the world's most powerful. And MacArthur restructured their political system as well, convincing Japan to allow suffrage for women and other basic civic freedoms. The United States was changed as well. The weakness of war-ravaged Europe and the growing threat of the Soviet Union led the U.S. to a new role as the world's leading economic and military power. Before his death, President Roosevelt expressed hope that those who followed could learn from the horrors of this terrible war.
We have faith that future generations will know that here, in the middle of the 20th century, there came a time when men of goodwill found a way to unite and produce and fight to destroy the forces of ignorance and intolerance, slavery, and war.
It would take decades to fully realize the changes wrought by World War II. But as soldiers returned home, they found their country and themselves fundamentally changed. And for many, a new, more prosperous and more peaceful life lay ahead.